Hello people, welcome back to the channel. It's Chrissy Sawyer here. There's a lot happening. There's a very lot happening. I don't have the wit or the intelligence to bring it all to you, but I want to do a reading today. We'll use the new moon as the trampoline in. And so the new moon today is happening in Libra in Western, but I'm more interested that in true sidereal astrology, it's happening in Virgo. And a couple of sentences that I wrote down out of context, I heard them and I captured them. And one I think might be the beginning of a poem which is coming in, but it feels very Virgoan. This energy that I'm feeling into is about, it's intensely feminine, and this reading isn't for women, it's for human beings, but this is speaking into the powerful feminine that's within you. And it's feeling like elegance and refinement. So it's a really high vibration of the feminine. And so last night I was doing nothing in particular and I heard this beautiful sentence, which was, I prefer the subtle breeze of organza to the noisy swish of taffeta. And there is, in a metaphysical way, this bridging between worlds, this moving energy between organza, which is transparent and almost noiseless, to the taffeta, which is very 3D, very noisy, almost rigid. So we have a dimensional bridging going on, and here we are back to the in-between worlds. And I want to bring that in with the other sentence that I was sent the other night. Well, I woke up about 3:30 one morning in the last few days with, our notion of permanence is a vestibule to distress. Our notion of permanence is a vestibule to distress. And what this is asking us is to have a look at where our attachment to expectations and outcome is, because our expectations, our attachment can keep us on the hamster wheel, in the container. And to break out of that container, we've got to bring some crazy Uranus, some revolutionary energy, and lean more into what if, lean more into true diversity. All right, so that's kind of the intro. And I pulled a couple of sentences from the sentence jar. And what's come up is, how do I embrace diversity? Okay, how do I embrace diversity? And I'm sensing this new moon. I want to bring Samhain in. I'm going to do a Samhain reading because she's been calling to me for about 2 weeks now. Samhain is the it's the end of October, it's the Halloween, it's the harvest festival, it's the new year. And so what precedes a new year is lots of mini deaths and maxi deaths. I'm seeing an awful lot of deep trauma suddenly coming up in my client work. And the other sentence that's come up is, do I avoid or welcome conflict and confrontation? So why am I bringing these in? Well, I'm bringing these in because there is a ton of astrology last week and this week. Like I say, I wish I had the wit and intelligence to tell you about the last 7 days of my life. It's been utterly profound. It may well have been for you too, and I'd love to hear about that in your comments. So if we're talking about diversity, conflict, and confrontation for the self, that's asking a question about how diverse can I be? How much of what I came in with can I bring into the world and stand in that power whilst meeting the conflict that's going to ripple into the system when I bring that side of me? So we're at a challenge point. And I'm just noticing my lymph glands are buzzing on both sides. And there's this little inner tremor going on, but I'm going to plow in. I'm going to use a couple of decks I hardly ever use, just to kind of switch it up and really mess the energy up, not go for the same thing. All right. So with all of that said, let's see what comes out. And the first deck I'm going to read from is the White Light Oracle. I can finish the reading there. That's coming in on that sacred 11, the master intuit, the intuition, the divine feminine, the gateway energy, what we have been able to access, what we might believe we cannot access. And the sacred scar is it's kind of, I've got Eros Denied, that fabulous book that was written decades ago about the deletion of the feminine in society, in modern culture. So let's read Sacred Scar, see what comes in. Oh, I'm really shaking inside. I'm just going to read the first paragraph of each of these cards. Your inner and outer scars are marks of your soul's courage. They are signs of strength and survival of your willingness to be alive against to survive. The sacred scar speaks of that which once caused pain being transformed into higher knowledge and inner power. Got Ophiuchus energy coming in here. There's another sentence I was dancing with this morning, that Ophiuchus is ruled by no thing and no one, which is why I read, I am Ophiuchus, I was born under the sign of Ophiuchus. And so how do I step into that in a society that's full of dictates? Trauma will be transformed through spiritual initiation. There's a ton of that going on at the moment, leading you from woundedness to wisdom. You have nothing to be ashamed of. You can trust your healing process and in the hidden higher purpose behind things happening as they do. So that's the kind of trust that nothing is wasted energy. You are strong and you will flourish on all levels. Can you open your mind to that? Can you open your mind to you are strong and you will flourish on all levels? Beautiful. Okay, so the next card out. This is divine union energy. It's almost the masculine. What's the word? It feels deeply apologetic. It feels humble and powerful that the masculine is coming in to uplift the feminine. So he must have done an awful lot of work, that active masculine side within us has done an awful lot of work. I know I haven't done a masculine feminine reading for a long time because it just hasn't seemed right. But let's see what the book says. This is, 639. Completion on all levels. This is the completion of a karmic cycle. Mind, heart, spirit. Okay, Tantra 639 hertz. I love this. Be open to that which seems unfamiliar or different. You will experience breakthrough as you embrace an unusual approach. This is the invitation. It's a sacred invitation to walk yourself forward, governed by nothing and no one except your soul. You are on a soul path of accelerated spiritual growth, which is swifter but not always easier. Like I keep saying, for the next 3 months leading into 22, there's going to be some really chaotic, dynamic energy. You do not have to contrive your own happiness. I might say, nor pursue it. But you can dip into the bliss within your body to lighten your mental state and remind yourself everything is working out beautifully. Here we go again. Can you open your mind? Everything is working out beautifully. But the mind can only perceive what the eyes see. If the eyes see chaos, the mind will program to it. So here we have, bring Uranus in, and how can you challenge that? How can you come into inner conflict with that? Challenge it. Beautiful. I'm just going to peep. I've got 2 more cards here. I'm just going to peep into their energy. Bear with me. 41. Yeah, I can see what's coming online here. This is about remembering at a soul level. It's about tapping into greater awareness and an understanding of highest life purpose, and how that's all going to start becoming really clear. So it's actually going to take more energy to fight this than it is to flow into it, move with the chaos. This may evoke unsettling change within you, but that change is necessary for a new way to manifest. You're protected and guided at all times, especially when you feel uncertain about your course. You are truly loved. There's another challenge. Do you know you are truly loved? Or does a little voice, that inner saboteur, come in? Challenge it. Hold it. Hug it. Love it. And the final card. Oh, I love the energy of this one. There's an almost, I'm busy, go away. I'm busy, go away. Connecting into the higher self. governed by nothing and no one. There's another invitation here. Lots of invitations in this reading. Continue on your healing journey with enthusiasm, but without forcing things to happen more quickly than feels natural. Okay, this is speaking straight into October. And we have Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter going direct this month. Direct energy can still feel a bit stuck. You might feel the push to start moving forwards. We've got Mars heavily aspecting. So that active side is going to come in. It's going to want to push forward. Be pulled rather than push. Bear with me. I need to address something that's just come in. I'll be back in a minute. Sorry about that. There may be another interruption, but I love that it's coming in with this Oracle of Chaldea, because this is talking about forcing things to happen. So I'm just going to work with what comes in, and that might be a couple of interruptions. So I was talking into the October energy, and it's going to feel like the masculine energy is going to start coming in, wanting to create. That's right. I said, thank you. I said, be pulled rather than push. This is the building of the new. When you're pulled, when you do something that you can't not do, that's flow state. That's following the feelings and the guidance and the intuition. And this is where the feminine will rise against the patriarchal. Don't sit there doing nothing. Work, work, work. And if you ever catch yourself putting the words work and hard in the same sentence, have a look at that. So that's not what we're building. Sometimes the body will be ready to let go, but the mind is still holding on. I'm going to speak into this. There's been a wave of what I'm lovingly calling spiritual exhaustion coming through the system. And so, did I say Pluto is going to go direct? So, you know, Pluto is scorpionic, it's the underworld, it's Hades energy. And this is where those deep sacred scars are going to come up. And so we talk about rest. You know, I'm sitting down, I'm resting, I'm not doing anything. Yeah, but the mind is still doing an awful lot. Real rest happens in the mind and the body. It's the mind that has created some of our exhaustion. And so learning to navigate the mind, learning to dialogue with the mind, work with the mind, let it be, and slowly begin to let go will cause that deep exhaustion in you to be fed, supported, held, loved. Okay, so it's about resting the mind, letting go. It's just letting go. If the mind wants to start getting busy, just let go. Get a cup of tea, let go. At other times, the mind may need to be patient as the body processes an experience. Trust in your own timing and rhythm. There's no need to be impatient or judge yourself. There's a lot of that going on in the system. Words like lazy, again, that's the patriarchal system. If you're not working, you're useless. If you're not generating invoices, you're useless. You are summoning the spiritual fortitude. Wow, I woke up with those words the other morning. Spiritual fortitude. Okay, there's the other interruption, just confirming. Okay. To tackle an issue which has previously held you back. So here we are breaking down the container of the mind, the rigidity of the mind and moving into something that's a bit chaotic. This new energy I'm learning to work with. I'll get it wrong before I get it right. When the time is right, the healing will happen more easily than if you try to push forward prematurely. Things are going to work out. Be positive. Well, Be healthy. How about that? Be healthy. Be loving. Yeah. Okay, so a beautiful lead in to something that's feeling divinely powerful. There's nothing wishy-washy about this. Oh, wow, look at the underlying card. We have the, wow. This is Father energy. This is the serving Father, the divine Father. Wow. I want to have a peep at this card. Freedom. Yeah, it's setting yourself free. Let's play with this. As I read this paragraph, imagine it is the masculine speaking it through. As you embrace your inner essence, you will be at peace with who you are, including your vulnerability, and no longer see the need to conform to social ideals which have no true resonance for your heart. You are encouraged to trust your intuitive recognition of which environments and relationships harmonize well with you, supporting your spiritual growth and well-being on all levels. This is saying, I want to support you. You have the innate capacity to manifest. Relax. You'll attract all you need. And again, this is moving out of the push and moving into the pull. What is going on in here at every given moment is what is coming towards you. Every given moment. It's like Rumi said, what you seek is seeking you. All right. Looks like this might be a masculine and feminine reading without me even expecting it. All right. I want to bring something ancient in, and I don't know what it is. It just feels ancient, pagan, ley lines, caretaker. Speak into that, please. Ancient ley lines, caretaker. And again, I'm going to read from the book. Wow. 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 Yeah, this is speaking straight into Samhain. The dream shield is coming through as the illusion that's been pulled down over your eyes. Wow. It's the waking up to the reality, sometimes the harsh reality. And it's coming in on that karmic 8. This is, wow. I need to develop a new language because I get way more than I can translate. But just feel into the energy of that. Okay, let's have a look at number 8, Dream Shield. Pay attention to your dreams. Let your mind drift to a solution. Easy conversation. The medicine of this mandala is now at your side. The symbolism of the dream shield existed amongst many ancient Native American tribes. A dream shield was not used in battle, but to decipher the dream state. and the unconscious mind. Yeah, we cannot create from what we already know. Hence the in-between worlds feeling at the moment is the invitation to create straight from the void without a clue. That's how we're going to create the new. The subconscious wants to come in and see the bird in there because it knows the program for bird. But when we challenge and keep challenge, and it's critical inquiry, then we start to lift the veil and we start to see truly what's happening. It can therefore help you to achieve dreams. There's a big question in there, isn't there? Achieve what dreams and for whom? It's about sharing experiences and visualizations from dream state with medicine men of the tribe, and a dream shield would be created to represent the soul's evolution and path. I'm going to stop reading there. This is about the soul's evolution and path, and the work that we've been doing over the last 2 years is to just keep punching through the system, the dream state system, the asleep system, the catatonic system. All right, it's getting very poignant now. And the underlying energy is the divine blueprint. That we are masters of the wheel. That's it. We are masters of the wheel. That's it. All right. Right. Let's start pulling this down. Move the shamanic cards. What do we need to know? Yes. All right. Need to know for this time. Okay, I'm going to pull the next underlying card, which is conscious channeling. Okay, so this is where it becomes a part of a normal conversation. So not so much a private channeling that nobody really gets to hear about because it's a bit weird and it's a bit abstract and complex, but where conscious channeling becomes a part of a normal conversation, where it's okay to be intuitive, let's say in a business conversation, let's say with the shopkeeper at the local supermarket. Courage. Courage. Was that not in the last reading? Courage. This is the invitation to bring all of yourself. Creators of the wheel. This is the God self. There's no religious connotation in there. The divine self, the creator self. That's coming in with the ego and fearless high flight. What's the challenge in that? The challenge is diversity and confrontation. It's easier to be small and ordinary. It's easier to have a mediocre mind that fits into some fake sense of belongingness. Belonging is a huge one that's been coming through the system. And how we adapt and contort and twist and pretend and lie to be a part of that, which actually doesn't serve us, but makes us feel somehow held. But the trick is to hold yourself. So the ego wants to bring in the big picture, the higher self. It's fearless. It's also unafraid to swoop and dive. Okay. It's fearless. It's active instinct without ego. There's nothing to get in the way. There's no ego that comes in and goes, what if I clip a cliff on the way down and kill myself? There's none of that. See it, go. This is fearless energy. what I immediately get from this is listen to the heart, listen to the beat of the heart. 12-12, wrapping up cycles, governance. Little twinge in the solar plexus there. I am governed by nothing and no one, save my soul and my heart. It's big, which is why you're not going to run at it, are you? No, Chrissy, we're not pushing into this. We're allowing, cultivating. Listen to the beat in the heart. This is dynamic change at heart level. Wow. Yeah. Okay, let me just have a look at these. We have got Ophiuchus is in the house. Okay. So listening to the heart might nudge you into shadow, the shadow self, the fearful self, the small self, the scared self, the child self. And since 2020, I've been making these resurrecting the child videos. It might be worth you taking a look at those. I've made it, there's a playlist of them, but the theme has gone all the way through and I haven't kept up with putting them all in one place, but here's that ancient energy. As earth keepers, how do we do that? How are we already doing this? All I can see in my peripheral vision with this card is the caduceus running straight through her. Is that energy. So this is the raising of Kundalini. Kundalini as the active, instinctual, knowing energy. So it's within us all, but it's the thing that got squashed on the planet, because when we're told what to do, we don't come from our own volition. We don't raise the serpent, the Kundalini. We don't raise that. We nod and we go, okay then. And we become passive avatars. But this is something very different. This is a very different emanation of the feminine that's coming through. Okay, I'm not going to go into those. All right, so let's ask for October, how can we best harness these energies and work with them? How can we best harness these energies and work with them? What's that going to look like in our day-to-day behaviour? What's the challenge in our day-to-day behaviour? That's the question. What's the challenge in our day-to-day behaviour to harness all of these energies? There's the challenge. That's what the mind wriggles with. The mind just cannot stand still. It's coming into an evolution of working in proportion with the spirit and the soul and the heart. At the moment, it's kind of taken over. It's like this limbic hijack where the mind thinks it can process emotion and feelings and it can't. that can help us cognitively understand the world, but the world is multidimensional. We are multidimensional. So standing still to get into this beautiful inner vision and listening to our inner drum, because your drum won't beat the same as the person next to you or the person that lives around the corner. So that's going to be the challenge, is to stand still, to not push into that patriarchal, I have to earn my way in the world. You are enough to begin with. You were enough from the moment you were born. I get critical inquiry with this, daring to ask the questions. Right, that makes sense. The two sentences, how do I embrace diversity? Do I avoid or welcome conflict? All right. So if this is inviting in critical inquiry, what do you mean by that? What do you want from me? What is my part in this? Separating their anger from yours, separating your projection from them. Coming into personal responsibility and autonomy, strong. This card is linked, the crow is linked to intelligence. The intelligence to figure something out. And I want to speak into that as well, because the word solutions I noticed came up earlier. And another thing I'm noticing in the collective is the issue comes in, so they cognitively understand the issue and move straight to fix, straight to fix. There's nothing in between. What needs to happen in between is the sensory perception, is the somatic response. What's going, where's that in the body? That thing you've just noticed that you do, that hurts you, that wounds you, where's that in the body? And then we move somatically to work through it, because the body very often will give up the solution. But the mind wants to solve it, wants to fix it so that nobody sees this vulnerability. So I'm going to completely circumvent that. I'm going to go from problem to solution. Can't do that in that energy. Be with, have to be with. You don't have to do anything. Be with. This is a beautiful reading. All right, I'm going to start wrapping this up now. Let's pull an oracle card, and then finish on that. Okay, let's wrap this reading up, please, with the message. Ooh. Stop it. Courage, bunnies. Courage. This is actually a beautiful depiction of the energy that I'm seeing, but chaotic and dynamic, but stunningly beautiful. So if you sense this energy coming into your world where you don't know your bottom from your elbow, be drawn to it as you might be drawn to a scene like that. Be drawn to it fearlessly. Life works for you, not to you. It's all in the mind. So courage is the closing message. Let's have a final message. Star seeds. And the star seed message, please, for It's the Tower card. What are you clinging to? This again. Our notion of permanence is a vestibule to distress. What are you clinging to? What do you sense it's time to let go of? And how does that make you feel? And where is that in your body? Tower. Tower and courage. It's going to be an exciting, dynamic month, faux show. Okay, people, I love you. I love that you're here doing the work. Do you know what I really love about this family? We don't get whiners. There are no whiners in this group. There are adults owning their story, sharing their story without projecting their crap onto others. That's me just saying it like it is. That's what I love about this family. We've cultivated that together. It's a very grown-up group. I'm so happy that you're here. So, as usual, do the clicking and the liking thing and drop me a comment. I love your comments. I'm going to leave you with my love for now. I sense there will be more. There's tons coming through, and I'll bring it to you as and when I can. Lots of love. Take care. Bye-bye.